The precision in henna design is a wonder, as the creative nature of man is brought to play.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
This vaccine is safe and it has been certified safe and usable by NAFTA.
Is architected and designed by the Almighty.
Someone who is a Christian is someone who lives a life of Jesus Christ. And the life of Jesus Christ is a life of sacrifice.
Yes.
Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Naja'at Tijani. An Alpha jet belonging to the Nigerian Air Force has gone missing while conducting a mission. In a tweet by the NAF Director, Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Edward Gapwet, the incident occurred on Wednesday night at one of the theaters of operation in northern Nigeria. The Nigerian Air Force says it is currently conducting a rescue mission for the pilots. The Alpha jet is a light attack and advanced trainer aircraft which has played a significant role in counter-insurgency missions under Operation Lafiya Dole in the northeast. The Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Salihi Magashi, says provisions of the 2020 and 2021 budgets are accelerating the efforts of the federal government towards achieving a highly organized armed forces. This was his assertion while receiving the Senate Committee on Defense on a two-day oversight. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
Status of allocations for capital projects and successes recorded so far in the fight against insurgency were the areas that the minister explained.
We give them answers with a view to improving the security situation in the country.
The main question is now security challenges. But along the way, we also discuss budget matters, budget from the previous years, current year, and so on.
At the Defense Research and Development Bureau, the senators were briefed on processes towards attaining maximum operational competency of the armed forces.
The money has been very well spent, and for the things that we are doing, a lot has to do with helping to solve a lot of the problems that our troops are facing in the northeast, in the northwest, north central, in the issues of insurgency, banditry, and all.
The commercial technology, the modification you are talking about, the armed forces is already doing a lot on that, sir.
Benchmark what we are supposed to do and correct us and help us where necessary. Thank you very much.
Issues bordering on cyber warfare were also brought up at the oversight, and the committee assured of commitment to ensuring efficient administration in the nation's defense sector. In Abuja, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
The National Assembly Service Commission has appealed to the Senate for inclusion of the Commission and that of state assemblies in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This appeal was made to the Senate Committee on Establishment and Public Service during its oversight to the Commission. Dayo Ogunshola reports.
The National Assembly Service Commission is an agency established to build a workforce that will provide support and expertise to legislators. The oversight by Senate Committee on Establishment and Public Service to the Commission, therefore, is to appraise its challenges and the way forward.
If we can hand over the building before we leave as commissioners, I think that would be a great pride for us, Your Excellency. So we need your support in that direction. Final areas where we require intervention, as I mentioned earlier, is the inclusion of the National Assembly and the State Assembly Commission into the Constitution.
Members of the committee acknowledge the reforms already brought to bear on the Commission by its new management.
This issue is being raised, we want to say, at the appropriate time. Some of us here are members of the Constitution Review Committee. You said you have made the submission. We will check at the Secretariat to ensure that your submission really is put on table.
It pays us in the National Assembly to support this commission. You know, your comfort is our comfort. Okay? If you are comfortable to do the job, you are complementing and you are assisting members of the National Assembly.
The committee was also at the Pensions Transitional Arrangement Directorate, where the Executive Secretary availed the chairman with details of efforts to reposition the agency for optimum performance. In Abuja, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
Meanwhile, on the occasion of Easter, President Muhammadu Buhari rejoices with Christians as they celebrate Easter this year. The president salutes the resilience and understanding of Christians who could not attend traditional church services for celebration last year due to the coronavirus pandemic and expresses delight at the opportunity for brethren to congregate and worship together cautiously. President Buhari reminds Christian faithful that Easter is an opportunity to renew hope and faith, show love and appreciation to one another, and not despair, no matter the challenges of the period, giving assurance that government will continue to ensure that the weak, the poor, and the underprivileged are not abandoned. The president deeply acknowledges and appreciates the sacrifices of frontline doctors and nurses for their tireless efforts at keeping the population healthy in the face of COVID-19, as well as law enforcement and military personnel who continue to confront evil-minded individuals through the darkest of nights to keep us safe. President Buhari congratulates Christians on the occasion of Easter, even as he extends his appreciation to Nigerians who are adhering to various interventions to curb the spread of COVID-19 and have embraced vaccination, while urging citizens to act responsibly in celebrating. Similarly, President Muhammadu Buhari warmly felicitates with former two-term president of the Nigerian Guild of Editors and renowned communications strategist Malam Halilu Ibrahim NTA on his 60th birthday come April 2nd, 2021, congratulating the veteran journalist for more than 40 years of service to his profession, with many scores, including working as permanent secretary in Kano State. In a congratulatory message, the president joins the Nigeria Union of Journalists and Nigerian Guild of Editors in celebrating with Malam NTA, fondly called Baba, whose dedication to his profession and passion for development communication impacted greatly on the dynamic media industry, regularly positioning him for more responsibilities and leadership roles. President Buhari notes the journalist's versatility as a member of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, Secretary of Kano State Steering Committee on Ease of Doing Business, Chairman Technical Committee on Kano State Nigerian Erosion and Watershed Management Project, and serving as Director General, Media and Communications to the Executive Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, and his predecessor, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. The President believes Malam NTA's experience will always be relevant in development, praying that Almighty God will continue to bless him with longer life and good health. This is Nationwide on NTA. Let's now join Jennifer Igwe in Lagos for more reports. We apologize for that poor signal. We might rejoin them. Now, after about 2.5 years, INEC has announced Monday, the 28th of June 2021, for the resumption of the continuous voter registration exercise nationwide. Mayor Ogidi reports that the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, is, however, worried about the growing security concerns in Anambra State. Meanwhile,
a tiny material, but a mighty weapon for the electorate. But was suspended in August 2018, but to resume in June 2021. This will continue till the third quarter of the year 2022. But in Anambra State, the exercise will be temporarily suspended in August 2021 and will resume after the governorship elections in November. This is to enable INEC tidy up the voter register.
We are going to deploy the online registration portal so that people don't have to crowd around the polling units during the period for registration of voters. They can start the process online, and there's going to be a locator to the portal that we are developing that will guide them to the next available registration center. So they simply go for the capture of their facials and the biometrics. You don't have to go and spend a long time doing all the processes all at the same time. And we hope also that doing so will help us to deal with one of the nagging issues in voter registration.
You people are not listening,
that
you
is
are
multiple
talking, and you are
registration.
still talking.
I repeat, NIN is not going to be mandatory for voter registration for the simple reason that we are operating on the basis of the law establishing INEC.
Governorship election slated for November 6 in Anambra State, but the sounds of gun scare INEC because the commission is yet to recover from the Ekiti State constituency experience where some lives were lost.
And we have suspended Ekiti indefinitely, and I mean indefinitely.
Indefinite in Ekiti State, but preventing the spread of the coronavirus through the syringe is definite. So the INEC chair takes its job. Mayor Ogede, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the state chairman of the All Progressives Congress have joined those demanding for the extension of the ongoing membership registration and revalidation exercise of the party. The chairman of the forum of the APC state chairman, Ali Bukar Daluri, addressed journalists at the end of a closed-door strategic engagement in Abuja. They appealed to the Governor Mai Mala Buni-led caretaker and extraordinary National Convention Committee to carry out its functions, including organizing a national convention within the time frame.
The exercise so far has provided a prelude to what is to be expected in all future elections in Nigeria. With the turnout of Nigerians to identify with us, it is certain that the trust of Nigerians in the party remain unwavering. Thus, after conduct and conclusions of the membership registration and the revalidation exercise, we urgently call for the immediate conduct of Congress on convening of the National Convention.
The ongoing membership registration and revalidation exercise by the party commenced in February and is expected to last for a month. And on the health scene, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has begun an indefinite strike after consulting with its Congress. A reconciliation meeting held last night ended with signing of a memorandum of understanding and action plan for implementation of the demands between the federal government and the group, with the hope that it would prevent the strike. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, assured the group that government has started addressing some of their demands within the stipulated timeline or settle all their agitations.
Move proactively to address most of the issues ahead of your coming. In lower parlance, what we have done here today is that we have arrested their disputes and we're addressing them, and we're happy that you understand. So I give you assurance that most of the things written here will be done.
For more on security matters, let's join Salamatu in our Kaduna studios. Hello, Salamatu.
Hello, Najatu, and welcome to Kaduna. Inspector General Police Muhammadu Adamu has advocated enhanced and sustained synergy among the Nigerian armed forces in handling the current security challenges, which have potentials of undermining the country's economic interest. The Inspector General Police stated this in a message to the closing of 2021 Senior Course 43 exercise Haske BU held at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji. Suleiman Abdullahi Rugachkun reports.
Specialized in different fields of defense and intelligence, united towards a common goal of enforcing law and national security. Participants of Haske BU Senior Course 43, comprising the Army, Air Force, Navy, paramilitary and other stakeholders, after 3 weeks of joint and multi-agency training on internal security with emphasis on global security environment and current national security challenges. Participants at this training are now better informed on the imperative of effective synergy in handling internal security, low-intensity conflict, counter-militancy, and stabilization operations.
The fourth thing we're taking away is the importance of adherence to rule of engagement.
Inspector General of Police Muhammad Adamu, in a message, acknowledges interagency training and collaboration as key elements in addressing challenges of internal security.
The 3 weeks exercise, which culminated with the indoor telephone battle witnessed overnight, no doubt required tremendous hard work, high standard of discipline, loyalty, and dedication.
Timely information and intelligence sharing to ensure prompt reaction to crisis is expected to be the watchword of all participants at the training. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachkun, NTA News.
To avert possible spillover of criminal activities from neighboring states, Jigawa State government is engaging stakeholders to strategize in dealing with the situation. To this end, Governor Muhammadu Badaru Abubakar presides over a one-day security meeting under the auspices of Jigawa Development Forum. Muhammad Musa Askira has the details.
No doubt, Jigawa State is in the state of apprehension given the level of security challenges bedeviling its neighbors. Though Jigawa is one of the safest states in the country, the activities of banditry, kidnapping, and Boko Haram insurgency affecting the neighboring states calls for consciousness of the authorities. The meeting is therefore timely and in line with the state government's proactive measures to nip in the bud any issue that is capable of leading to security breach in the state. Governor Muhammadu Badaru Abubakar, who commended the efforts and wisdom of the forum, also charged them to discuss thoroughly the issue of drug abuse among youths, sporadic farmers-herders clashes, among other activities that form the basis for brewing insecurity in the state.
We are surrounded by northeast and also we are in the northwest. We have border with Katsina, we have border here with Yobe and Bauchi State, and we have to be proactive all the time to be sure that we remain safe.
Prevention is better than cure. So that's why we brought the stakeholders here together to see how the community itself can contribute more effectively, especially through our vigilante groups and other community organizations.
It is expected that at the end of the meeting, a powerful resolution would be made on the ways to keep the state safe. Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And in order to foster peaceful coexistence, peace initiatives are gaining more grounds in southern Kaduna as some communities in Kauru and Kajuru local government areas sign joint peace pact in Kafanchan. Kim Wells reports.
Reflect your agreement and your call to action?
Yes, sir.
A commitment to ending violence and hostilities among the affected communities in the 2 local government areas.
Peace is the foundation for development, and we are all working towards it.
We should tell our people that peace is key to development.
The recent resurgence of violence in the 2 local government areas, Kauru and Kajuru, necessitated the Peace Pact, following intervention by Center for Humanitarian Dialogue in collaboration with the Kaduna State Peace Commission.
For us, I think is a right step in the right direction, that at least, yes, we have sat down with relevant stakeholders and they themselves, there's no imposition, have agreed to do something.
In the future, these communities will see to it that when we go back home in our community associations, in our development associations, at our women meetings, at our youth meetings, we'll step what we have learned. We will share this agreement with them. We'll make them see that on their behalf, we have made this commitment, and it is up to us to honor it.
For the traditional rulers and other stakeholders, the peace accord couldn't have come at a better time when the communities are in their need of sustainable development. From Kafanchan, Kim Gotts, NTA News.
That concludes our package from Kaduna. Nationwide continues in Abuja after this timeout. Stay with us.
Hello, I bring you wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire. Teacher, you
Go na better school for last giddy. Not be all this on a rugged yes school for Ijabi. I don't know for you.
Second, it's called Oja Village. Can you see? We no happy at all.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders too. Hey, we are trying, shall sweep her leg out. She was standing there. Sweep it.
I love you so much.
And how did I give you the impression that I was interested in that position?
50-year anniversary.
You mean anniversary?
I mean, that's why I talk with that now.
Not for me. Not for me because of Pamio.
As Oni of Ife, as someone who cares about the well-being and safety of our people, it's time for each and every one of us to realize that COVID-19 is real and it has killed millions of people around the world. Scientists have developed this vaccine. The vaccine is safe for everyone and it contains no microchip, nor can it alter our DNA. However, we must continue to stay safe and stay clean, wear face masks, clean our hands on a regular basis, and try as much as possible to avoid a very large crowd and gathering. For those who choose to be vaccinated, it will go a long way in protecting yourself and your loved ones from COVID-19.
Hungry, tired, often dehydrated, yet risking their lives. This is the predicament at least 13.2 million Nigerian children find themselves in every day.
The number of children we have out of school now is actually a consequence of the poor quality of education.
Government itself needs to begin to think differently about education.
And that is why we are also at this moment planning a comprehensive curricular review.
If you do not have appropriate education, you may end up being a fodder for those who are going to try to cause economic or social mishaps.
My name is Bolaji Owasanwe, Chairman ICPC. Integrity, discipline, patriotism are my watchwords. I'm working for a better Nigeria. What are you doing? Hashtag for a better Nigeria.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, with support from Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Thanks for staying tuned to Nationwide on the NTA. Let's now rejoin Jennifer in Lagos for more reports. Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you, Najatu. Now, the life of a driver is hanging in the balance after a container fell off a trailer and crushed his car in Stadium area of Lagos this afternoon. Adeni Itaiwo completes the report.
The accident occurred on the bridge opposite the National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos, when a 40-foot unlatched container slid off its track and crushed this car. Pictures before the accident happened, an eyewitness's account showed that the trailer was struggling to climb the bridge before the container slid off and fell on top of the car, which was trying to overtake it.
The container taking the
The only victim and driver of the car is still trapped as at the time of filing this report, while frantic effort to rescue him is ongoing.
I believe by God's grace. It is only by God's grace. The spinal cord and the leg is already gone.
Rescue agencies have also arrived at the scene with heavy equipment to remove the container and evacuate the victim. This is not the first time in recent times that large containers will be falling off trailers along Ojuelegba Stadium corridor, leaving many injured or dead. In Lagos, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
Now, rescue operation is still going on there. Now, Nigeria, as a multilingual nation with over 500 languages, need an effective national language policy to harness its linguistic resources to drive the country towards achieving its developmental goals. This is why the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council organized a workshop in Lagos. John Adams tells us more.
Stakeholders and experts from various sectors across the country critiquing the national language policy draft to come up with realistic and implementable policy provisions that would not generate controversies. The document that will be birthed out of this series of brainstorming sessions is expected to drive the attainment of national identity, dignity, and unity.
The whole purpose of the policy is you formulate the use of these languages, of all these languages where, feasible, so that you have inclusion. And that would improve on your educational pursuit, in your legislation, in your, in all aspects.
Languages would be taken as national assets, would be taken as repositories of our cultures.
There are major indigenous languages that are well known, but those other languages that are not well known, I think with this workshop, they can be brought to the limelight and they too can be incorporated.
When we have this language policy in place, we'll be able to utilize it and it will assist us tremendously for the development, for the technological development of the country.
The success of the workshop, experts believe, will further consolidate the ministerial strategic plan for education in Nigeria, which is Education for Change 2018 to 2022. In Lagos, John Adams, NTA News.
Now to border activities. The Nigerian Customs Service Semi-Border Command has found a winning formula in the fight against smuggling activities and is committed to nurturing the partnership with host communities to sustain the tempo. Michael Olaleye reports that this renewed relationship resulted in the seizure of 705 category of items from December till date.
Border communities like Seme have a lot of experiences to chronicle the fact that there is a thin line between smuggling and drug trafficking. This understanding perhaps propelled the customs to boost surveillance along the waterways and creeks, which led to the seizure of 232 parcels of cannabis sativa valued at 2.9 million naira. While receiving the illicit substances from the customs, the NDLEA disclosed that the parcels came in from Ghana and offloaded at the beach area for upward transit to syndicates.
We are going to look for the owners of this exhibit because there are abandoned seizures. The president NDLEA has all what it takes to identify the culprit behind this, because that is the icing on the cake to bring the perpetrators to justice.
The task before the Semi-Border Command is the NEMOS, but a synergy with the communities within the period under review led to the seizure of 98 vehicles, while reminding the public that a ban on land importation of vehicles subsists. The customs said most of the seized cars have questionable documents.
In the vehicle, we were able to see forged custom documents. The vehicle was arrested on the 11th, and the document we found inside said the vehicle was released on the 12th and exited on the 12th.
As a way of reciprocating the mutual relationship with the community, an ultra-modern toilet facility was provided at the market, while a 5,000 container capacity bonded terminal has also been provided in readiness for importation of goods from third world countries. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
Now back to Najatu in Abuja for more on the news. Najatu, over to you.
Jennifer, Nigeria's digital revolution has contributed significantly to the nation's exit from economic recession faster than anticipated. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, stated this while briefing newsmen on the activities of his ministry since coming to office. This was at the 6th State House briefing organized by the Presidential Communications Team. Adamu Sambu reports.
Part of the responsibility given to us by Mr. President was to develop the national digital economy policy and strategy for a digital Nigeria.
That has been accomplished, and 8 critical pillars unveiled, thereby unleashing the nation's digital potential. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, described the journey so far as enriching and impactful on Nigeria's economy. He said apart from regulating the sector for developmental purposes, more than a record 10% broadband penetration has been achieved within 1 year.
Many experts predicted that we will exit recession at the end of 2021, but at the end of 2020, we exited recession. Why? With all sense of humility, it significantly depends on the success of the digital economy sector. ICT sector grew by 14.70%, followed by another sector which grew by 3.41%. ICT sector is more than 4 times the performance of the second most performing sector. In the entire year, between January to December 2020, ICT sector grew by 12.90%, followed by another sector which grew by 3%, meaning ICT sector performed more than 3 times the performance of the second most performing sector of our economy. And by implication, ICT sector complemented the negative performance of other sector, and this played a significant role in pulling out our country from recession.
The minister takes pride in the various reform initiatives by his ministry, thereby making digital economy all-inclusive and indispensable for sustainable future of Nigeria.
We must produce what we eat, and we must eat what we produce. Before the end of our administration, we want to ensure that whatever we have the capacity to develop locally, there is no any room for importation. This is an avenue for us to create many jobs for our citizens. It is an effort of government to ensure that as long as our citizens have the capacity to do, the priority and preference must be given to them.
In the last 1.5 years, he said, more than a dozen policies have been developed and being implemented with significant impact on other critical sectors of the economy.
Minister, you deserve congratulations by Nigerians. Your team has done so well, so much, moving this sector to become a very strong pillar of the nation's economy at a time when virtually every sector has been hit and brought down by the corona epidemic. You have grown by 14.70. This is first class, and I'm not sure this is beaten by any other country.
Chief executive officers of the various departments and agencies under the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy were present at the briefing. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Similarly, the federal government is leveraging digital technologies and innovations in the education sector, expected to improve quality of teaching and learning processes in schools and also increase access to affordable education. To this end, the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy has unveiled and inaugurated a national adopted school for smart education, NASE, program. ICT correspondent Joseph Johnson was at the launch of the pilot edition and now reports.
Smart learning, that's the new dimension the government is taking, and the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, is experimenting this at Junior Secondary School in Garshi, FCT. Turning dreams into reality is how Niimat Shoaibu describes the impact of these ICT facilities deployed to her school.
Yes, ma'am. It's also because at least have information about computer.
Niimat is among the 500 students in her class who, alongside 30 teachers, are to receive digital literacy capacity building, portable renewable energy system, smart education devices, tablets, and instructors' Android-enabled smart screens, among other provisions.
It is an opportunity for our children to be trained on ICT, meaning catch them young. And I do hope that after commissioning this pilot program, the program can be extended to other institutions by giving more priority to schools in the remote areas.
Smart education is not just about the conventional education. It will also help you to learn more about digital content, digital services, and digital technology as well.
With COVID-19 bringing to bear the need for education anywhere and anytime, the learning environments globally is said to be changing fast with innovations that are enabled by digital technologies. Here, the belief is that Nigeria's education sector must also play smart. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
And Ogochukwuka in Benin is standing by with more reports for us nationwide.
Of communities in the 18 local government areas of Ondo State have been undergoing training on the National Wash Response to COVID-19 projects. It is a program by the Federal Ministry of Water Resources as part of efforts to ensure durability of the water supply utilities constructed under the project. Toyin Batire reports.
The water supply utilities constructed under the National Wash Response to COVID-19 project is aimed at encouraging hand washing culture to limit the spread of COVID-19. The training of representatives of benefiting communities is to ensure strict maintenance of the facilities built in selected local government areas of Ondo State.
Ondo State, they have about 15 facilities, 10 new ones and 5 rehabilitated ones.
We invited 2 participants from each of the project locations to come for this training so that they can help us in maintaining and operating the facility for sustainability.
It will sanitize and expose the community members on how to operate and make the projects their own.
It is expected that with the training, the federal government's water supply utilities will be properly handled to ensure durability of the projects. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NTA News.
Heightened activities that usually characterize markets during festive seasons are yet to be seen in some markets in Benin City ahead of Easter this Sunday. Agatha Guarojo is standing by to tell us the situation in some markets.
This is Obo Market, one of the major markets in Benin City. It's normal business activities going on here, nothing out of the ordinary and nothing that shows that Easter is on Sunday.
Money not there, things they there, people they complain. No money, yet they don't fit buy anything for market.
Easter not there, they're postponer. I'm not sure say go home. If not before, everybody will carry chicken.
And in Lagos Street Business District.
Before we see market, but this Easter time, we don't understand now. I never see any changes between previous days and now where it be Easter period. There's no change. People, you can see, people are not buying anything. I don't know whether they don't have money Or no, because I know say artists in Oba put money.
When it's festive period, at least the customer will come and patronize us. But since this year there's no money, we don't have any customers. We just manage it.
The little one we can, we buy it. Rice is how much now? A bag of rice Nigeria for that matter, 22,000. So if you can afford half, you afford. If you cannot afford, if not a cup, you afford the one you want rich.
Given that some staple food items like rice, chicken, vegetable oil, tomato, palm oil, and chicken are purchased in high quantity and majorly consumed during Easter celebration, this is a check on the prices of some of these staple food items.
Like beans oil they sell 42,000 before. Now it's 39,000. Corn oil they sell 20,000. Now it's now 18,000. Rice oil they sell 23,000, 24,000 naira. Now rice 21,500 naira.
People at the bar. How much is that basket?
Basket 1.5. 1.5.
How much did you
before? At the seller 2,000.
Well, Oga, that's the situation in some markets in Benin now. It's back to you.
Thank you, Agatha. And as the countdown to the National Sports Festival Edo 2020 gets to the business end, traffic control and management present themselves as areas that should be given priority attention. Paulo Mukago has more details.
This is the popular Ring Road, a major link to different parts of Benin City. With the Edo 2020 bell to kick off Friday, April 2, vehicular movement as a result of influx of visitors is expected to reach unusual levels. NTA News observed roads, maintenance, and functional traffic light at strategic locations aimed at reducing traffic congestions. However, the motoring public and other road users are expected to adhere strictly to traffic regulations to reduce the challenges of gridlock during the games.
But if you want to correct them, not by stopping them on the main road, you just see some of them will just jump into the vehicle. Hey, stop! Another vehicle coming, they will not have know what is happening. Some of them just want to stop automatically, and you see before you know it, the road is blocked.
To reduce the traffic for this national festival, now to enforce the law, this is our Obaseki police. So we need to put them so that they will concentrate on their work.
I believe there should be traffic control. If there is traffic control, I believe there will be free movement. Everybody should be able to obey traffic rules.
This has necessitated last-minute marking of roads and placement of directional signs on major roads and streets. In Benin, Paulo Mukago, NTA News.
And the news will continue from Ibadan with Kemi, but this will be after the break. Please stay tuned.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk. App for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Life is a game. We are cool. We are trendy. Energy moves us. Sports is our game. our oxygen. Because with the round leather, we ball, we hustle. All over the land, north and south, we are united in the pursuit of glory. We are encapsulated by HIFL. We live for the game. It's game time. Showing on NTA Network.
If you're just joining us, this is Nationwide on the NTA, and we're sorry we cannot connect with Ibadan at this time. The All Progressives Congress Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, under the leadership of the Governor May Malabuni, has extended the duration of the ongoing membership registration and revalidation exercise of the party. The National Secretary, Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Senator John James Akpanudo-Edehe, in a statement, indicates the Caretaker Committee has approved the recommendation of the National Committee for the Membership Registration and Revalidation to extend the duration of the exercise for 3 weeks. And in Akwa Ibom State, where the Ibom Community Farm Scheme has been flagged off, youth and other active groups are being encouraged to go into agricultural entrepreneurship as a means of reducing poverty and contributing to the economic growth of the state and country. Evelyn Baduekbo reports.
The Ibom Community Project is an initiative geared towards encouraging and mobilizing youth's interest in agriculture. The project, one of the demonstration farms of the Ministry of Agriculture, spans 15 hectares of land and will have various youth groups cultivate vegetables.
We are tired of coming to your house, to your offices to disturb you out of hunger. After this farming, you will no longer hear there is hunger in the land.
Today's event therefore marks for us the commencement of an innovative agro-revolution.
Want to challenge you. Do not allow this passion and vision to die, please.
When we talk of agriculture, input is very key. And His Excellency the Governor has supported farmers in many ways, different farmers. Cocoa farmers, vegetable farmers, cassava farmers, maize farmers, and so on with the input.
Farm inputs, including seedlings and farm implements, were also presented to the youths to boost cultivation. In Uyo, Evelyn Badu-Ekpo, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture has destroyed donkey skin worth more than 67 million naira, confiscated from people who engage in illegal hides and skin business. Musa Baba Aliu reports that the skin types were impounded during a raid on hideouts used for storage and trafficking out of Nigeria.
There have been global concerns over donkeys going extinct, considering the way the animal is being killed for their skin or meat. Here in Nigeria, it has been estimated that over 60% of donkey population has been killed for their skin. It is in the light of this that the government prohibited the slaughtering of the animal, including trading of any of its byproducts, without the approval of Nigeria Agriculture Quarantine Services.
Various security agencies to intervene, not negatively, for the quarantine to achieve this aim.
And these 1,500 pieces of donkey skin being destroyed were confiscated from merchants by government officials in Gwagwalada, Abuja. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
New skills are difficult to acquire, but never give up if you want to survive in modern journalism. Those are the words of encouragement to journalists who attended a 3-day training in multimedia reporting, especially using mobile phones. Aliu Rabi Aliu reports.
Logical convergence of mobile phones and multimedia is encroaching the field of journalism, especially with the birth of mobile devices and internet, which help in widespread of news-related contents and services. These journalists are also aware of contemporary changes on how people access the news, with some news media organizations anticipating mobile news consumption surpassing the traditional media.
It shows that we journalists need to
catch up on the game and be up to date in the modern technology.
Journalism is very broad, but sometimes we limit ourselves. So it's good to broaden our horizons and learn more things.
The resource persons at this training are of the view that increasing mobile news consumption on digital facilities and the internet have put down the walls that separated various media platforms, leading to what is now called multimedia newsroom.
If you don't know how to quickly get the story out to the public, by the time you are finished your own doubling around, the story is already another one is breaking.
So the more journalists can actually give people the stories, the better, and mobile journalism will help in achieving that.
Any journalist who has not made up his mind to go with the trend will soon be phased out of journalism.
Training also comprises the digital, video and audio content production, as well as social media journalism, using social media platforms as sources of story ideas.
The Imo Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps says road traffic defaulters and reckless drivers will face the consequences of their actions as they set out to ensure a crash-free Easter celebration. Faith Igwilo reports that the sector commander, Joshua Adekai, made this known during the flag-off of compliance exercise.
Festive periods are usually associated with increase in vehicular movement, as most people use such periods to travel to see their loved ones. With the 2021 Easter celebration now around the corner, the nation's Corps Marshal recently announced the deployment of a total of 25,224 personnel to cover the various highways across the country. In response to this, the Imo State Command Federal Road Safety Corps is already taking position along major roads within Owerri, the state capital.
In the command, we have enough men, even in Owerri and in other areas. Even apart from that, we have special marshals too. All other assisted agencies too. We are working together to make this period an accident-free Easter period for us.
Some drivers who spoke with NTA News promised to comply with safety rules in order to achieve accident-free celebration.
Well, I'm driving carefully because of my life and because of other people's life, passengers' life.
My children, my wife, and my siblings, they depend on me, so I will be careful.
By God's grace, we drive small, because this is injuring time as Easter period.
It is expected that road users will indeed make road safety their watchword before and after the Easter celebration. In Owerri, Faith Igwilo, NTA News.
And in the world of sports, outstanding athletes at the 2021 National Principals Cup will be taken to Japan on scholarship. Details with Tamara Ipiwe.
As officials and athletes set to arrive Benin, the Edo State capital, for the 20th National Sports Festival, organizers say the state is ready to host the games, which begin on Friday. About 8,000 athletes and officials are expected to take part in 29 games between 2nd to 14 April.
We had always been at the training ground, coaches, sport officers, and the athletes morning and evening, in exception of Sundays. So FCT is battle ready.
Away from the National Sports Festival, outstanding athletes at the just-ended National Principals Cup finals in Abuja will be awarded scholarships for 4 years in Japan. There are plans to have more events and more schools compete in the next edition of the championships.
They can still go further to the university level and come back home to represent the country in any sports.
Ahead of the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, World Football Governing Body FIFA has announced 9 stadiums that will be used in the first FIFA Women's World Cup to be co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand. In tennis, it was a sad day for world number 2 Naomi Osaka after her 23-match winning streak came to an end at the quarterfinals of the Miami Open. The Japanese tennis star lost 6-4 to Greek's 23rd seed Maria Sakkari. Osaka's defeat leaves her unable to regain the world number 1 ranking from Australia's Ashley Barty. With sports updates, Tamara Ebiwe, NTA News.
Well, let's hope the budding tennis star will bounce back. And that concludes the news on Nationwide. Thanks for watching. Do remember to connect with us and stand against rape and rapists. I'm Najat Tijani.